Alright, so for this trick, I can hand the deck over to the spectator and have them give it a shuffle. After they're done shuffling the deck, I would have them take out any card they would like. Now, in this case, I wouldn't look at it, but it's okay if I do. So, in this case, we have the 6 of spades, and I would have the spectator go ahead and sign the 6 of spades as well. So, let's say they signed the 6. So then I would have them take the 6, put it right back in about half of the deck here, and we'll lose it somewhere in the middle. Now, if I snap my fingers, you're going to see your 6 actually comes to the top. We're going to leave that right there. But we're going to try something a little different. If I snap my fingers again, actually, I have the 6, and you have a different card. So, that was the trick for today, and the control. If you want to learn how to do both the trick and the control, be sure to stick around for the tutorial. But first, what I'm going to be doing is going over the next deck review. So for those of you that don't know, last month for my birthday, I got some decks of cards for my birthday, and I already went over some of the decks, okay? So I'm going to show you the decks I did go over, and what decks that are up for review. Now, I do have the next 2 already picked out, because someone voted on what they wanted, okay? So the decks I already went over were the Theory 11 Avengers. And make sure you check out my past videos. Start with the 100 subscriber Q&A and move up from there until this video, and you will see every deck review. The next deck we went over was the Odyssey deck. The deck after that was the Peanuts. And then we went over the Black Seafarers. And the last deck I went over was the Hellions, or Helians. I'm not too sure how you pronounce it. But those were the decks we went over. Now, like I said, I have the next 2 decks picked out. So the last decks you can vote for after I'm done with the next 2 are either the Navigators. Okay, so right here. The Black Medieval. Okay, I have the white version too. And then this 2-pack of bikes. So I'll go over this at the end. But these are the last 2. But these are the final decks to go over. So right now I'm gonna be going over the next deck review, and that'll give you some time to figure out how the trick was done and what sleight I did, or what control I did. Okay, so the deck I'm going to be going over is the Amazing Spider-Man, okay? So starting right off, you can see how it's going to be red in the back for Spider-Man, obviously. He's right here, and, you know, red and blue and everything. This is what the front design of the box looks like. And on the bottom, it says playing cards, and then something else there. I think in French. Might be playing cards, but I'm not too sure. The top has the same design from the front, so it overlaps to the top, and it says Marvel Comics, The Amazing Spider-Man. Okay, and then the side says Marvel Comics, The Amazing Spider-Man Playing Cards, and then the other side says the same thing, okay? So totally identical on both sides. Now the back says, this official deck of playing cards features 52 unique images from Spider-Man's comic history, okay? So those are what some of the cards look like, and the back design, okay? And then the bottom is just barcode and some other stuff, too. Now, if you open up the flap here, you're going to see how it has still the top design overlapping. And in case you couldn't tell, it's just Spider-Man in the back for the design, okay? And then he overlaps to the top here. Now, if you open it, you're going to see it's a white inside for the tuck case, and then the design still overlaps from the sides to right here, and then they're white. Okay, so this is what the box looks like. Now right here is what the back design looks like. Now keep in mind I haven't used these yet, so these are going to be in complete order for how they came in the box. I just took them out and just looked at them. I didn't mix them up or anything. But this is the back design, okay? Now where are you going to receive? Now because these are collectibles, you're not going to be receiving double backers, double facers, anything like that. Really, the only two things are jokers, okay? And as you can see, these aren't identical. But here's the first joker, okay? So right there, you can see that. And then the next joker is going to look like this, okay? So, right here. Okay, now let's go over the cards. You can pause the video at each card I do, but I'm not going to be holding these for very long, okay? I don't want the video to be too long, but you can pause the video for each card. So here's the Ace of Spades, okay? And then the King of Spades, the Queen of Spades, turn it like that. The Jack, now keep in mind these are from comic strips here, okay? So, I think this guy might be Vulture. I'm not too sure though. Could be Electro, but I want to say Vulture. Looks like the Green Goblin. Not too sure who that is for the Two of Spades. So as you can see, very nice. Now, I wouldn't use these for Magic, but they are very nice collectibles, especially if you're a huge Spider-Man. I'm not too sure if he's Marvel. I think he's Marvel. It says Marvel Comics, I'm gonna guess. Looks like J. Jonah Jameson. But these are very nice if you're a big fan of the Marvel Comics and of Spider-Man. Just something you can have on your shelf. Now, could you play games with these? Probably, but I wouldn't. I would use regular bikes. Because, you know, people might be drunk at poker or whatever game. They might be messy. The cards might fall on the floor. They might get stepped on. They might get crumpled, bent. So these are cards you wouldn't want to be used. But bikes are easy to replace. Okay, so these are the cards. And obviously they can't do any of the card moves. So like spread and... not too sure who that is. They can't spread very well or fan or anything else. Looks like Black Cat. This looks like Doc Ock. So Dr. Octopus, Otto Octavius. So some of them have sayings on it. This one says it came from... okay, so it's cut off, so I can't really tell what the whole saying is. But it says it came from end of this CO. So I don't know, but got cut off right there. And then the pip is on top of the other saying. So this guy looks like... this guy might be Electro right here. This looks like Doc Ock right there, because of, looks like the octopus arms. Looks like Captain America. And there you go. So this was the Spider-Man deck review. Not a bad spread. Could be better, though. But there you go. That was the deck review for this video. And I already have the next one picked out. And at the end, I will go over the remaining decks to vote on until we're done with deck reviews. But now let's get into what we're going to be learning today. I will teach you that trick, not very in depth though, because I believe I have a video, if not a couple, on what I did there. So, if I can close this. Oh my goodness. Okay. So without further ado, let's get into what we're going to be learning. So in this video, what we're going to be learning is the Bluff Pass. Now the Bluff Pass is something I've been wanting to teach forever. I just never got around to it. Now, I last saw the Bluff Pass on Michael Six Magician's channel. So I'll leave his video down below and the link to his channel. But he had a different person teach, not Michael. So I'm going to be teaching you the Bluff Pass and just some nice uses for it and that little trick I did. So let's get into the Bluff Pass. So if you don't know the Bluff Pass, it's just a nice way to control a card. Now, usually people can use this pass to control the card second from the top, okay? Now, with this pass, you can really do any number you want. I wouldn't go very high, but I'll show you some ways you can go about this. So, here's how you're going to do this. Normally, you're going to have a card selected, okay? Now, you're not going to look. If you want to, you can. Just be careful, though, because you're going to be doing something sneaky. Now, I had trouble because there was no one here, but I'm going to show you ways to get around this. In this case, you have the 8 of clubs. Now, a nice way to hide this move is to have the spectator sign the card and then show it around, okay? And while they do that, you're going to turn around and all you're going to do is catch a break underneath the top card, okay? There's a few ways to do this. I wasn't very good about it in the performance, I don't think. But all I did was a pinky count, and I have a video on the pinky count, and I even updated it as well. Okay, so I will link it down below, but you can just use your pinky and pull down. Now, if you don't want to do that, because you're turned around, you can riffle up and catch a break like this with your thumb, or you can push off and put your pinky in and pull back. Either way, you want a break. Now, it doesn't really matter how big, because you're going to be getting rid of this break, sort of. What you're going to be doing once you have your break is you're going to come over with your 4 fingers here, index, middle, ring, and pinky on the top here. And make sure it covers the whole deck, okay? This is going to sell the illusion. If it's like this, it's not going to be very well. But since you're turned around, it doesn't really matter. But in case you happen to be surrounded one day, this is really good to do. So your fingers are going to be covering the deck, and your thumb's going to be on the back. All you're going to do is you're just going to lift up your fingers, and when you do that, you're going to be lifting up the top card. Now watch your angles on this. You don't want the card like this, okay? But if it is, be careful. You definitely don't want it like this, but mostly like this, okay? And you want it towards yourself, okay? Now, I usually hide it so they can't see this card at all, okay? And so, there's a few things you're going to do here. So, you're going to want to make sure you can lift it up like this, okay? And then you're going to want to sell the illusion that it's half the deck, okay? So, when you hold a regular deck like this, notice how your fingers are sort of extending over the top. They're not all the way over the top. But if you have half the deck, then boy, are they over the top. So what you're going to want to do is you're going to want to bury this as deep as you can, okay? And then get your break, okay? And then you're going to want to have your fingers over here and riffle down. And then they say stop. Doesn't matter where they say stop, because you say right here, no, keep going, stop, yes, okay. Gonna lower your hand, I tilt it a little, I let go of the brake with my thumb, okay? I look them in the eye while doing this, and then I lift up. Now right here, if you do your angles correctly, it's gonna look like half the deck, okay? So then they can put their card right here, and I do not suggest this, just putting the card back on top, but be careful how you do that too. I don't suggest that, okay, because it might look suspicious. So one way to sell the illusion, so here's the 8, we're going to bury, we have a break, they say stop, yes, lift up, they put their card in, and then you're going to come over, put your fingers here, lift up half, then you can either drop them on top, or once you put the card on top, you can lift up half, and then you can dribble. But either way you want to do this, you're gonna get their card second from the top, okay? So that's gonna be what you want to do, okay? So I'll go over that one more time, okay? Because I think my instructions weren't very clear there. So, you're going to have a card selected. Okay, try that one more time. Have a card selected. Let's say that one. You're not going to look at it, so they can sign it, show it around. In this case, the Jack of Clubs. You're going to turn around, and you're going to want to first bury this pretty deep in your hand, okay? So, basically, there's going to be no gaps right here, okay? Now, of course, there might be a little one, but that doesn't really matter. Just make sure in the front there's no gaps. You're going to catch a pinky break. Okay, so whether you riffle up, or you push off, or you pinky count, either way. And there's another tip I'm going to give too. So once you have this break, you're going to have your fingers over here and you're going to turn around, okay? You're going to riffle down and they're going to say stop. It doesn't matter. If they want to keep going, go ahead. But once they're done, you're going to move your hand, okay? So you can lose this break. And all at once, you're going to let go of the break and lift up that one card. And one thing you want to do after you do this is you first want this card so they can't see the edge of it, okay? Because they're going to see it's one card. And another thing is you're going to want this deck tilted down. If you have it tilted up, they're going to see it's not half the deck. It's like the full deck. And plus my finger is there, so make sure it's tilted down. And then they put their card in, and all at once, you're going to come over, drop the break, lift up about half, or how many you want, and then dribble. And that will make it look like it was lost somewhere in the middle of the deck, okay? When it's only second, okay? So in real time, here's what this looks like. So they sign it, I'm turning around, I catch my break while lowering the deck into my hand, and I have my fingers ready. So I have my break, the deck lowered, and my fingers here. Stop. Okay. I let go and I lift up. Now, of course, you don't have to turn your hand, but make sure they don't see you letting go of that break. Gonna lift up the one hand. They're gonna put this in. You're gonna come over, pick up half, and then dribble the rest on top. And your card is now second from the top. Now, let's say, before I get into the trick for what I did, let's say you want this controlled, I don't know, fourth from the top, okay? Now, you can really control this any number, okay? Just be careful, though. Now, if you do, like, 33, it's going to be about half the deck, okay? So you don't really have to be careful there. But let's say they have the 7 of clubs. They want it third, you're going to catch a break. 1, 2, 3. Okay, I bury it, riffle, stop, I lift up, and I don't know why it would be 4th, but let's say it is. They put it in, I put the rest on top, and I dribble. Now, if you're sloppy, or you happen to mess up a little while putting the cards on top, you lifting up and you dribbling should cover the action, so don't be too worried about it. And now it's going to be 4th from the top. Let's go over the trick I did, and I'll show you a few ways you can do this too, okay? So, all I did was a variation of David Blaine's Here and There trick. Now, I believe I taught this last year, but if you want another video updated on it, let me know. So what you're going to do is you're going to have a card selected, and all you're going to have to do is control it second from the top. So in this case, we have the King of Hearts. Now, personally, I would do the Overhand Shuffle control, which I have a video on, but there's a few ways you can do this. You can do the Bluff Pass, which I'm not going to go over because that's what this whole video was about. You can do the Marlowe Tilt, so you can catch a break with your pinky any way. Tilt up your hand a little, move your finger over. You can poke up some cards from the middle. Say that about middle. Yes. I push these in with my finger, and then I lift up about half, or a little more than half. I say, how about here too? Somewhere around there. And then I just put it in the break, being careful to make sure it doesn't poke out on both sides. I put it in, and then I square up, and I might do a dribble. That's one way you can go about this. Another way is the Overhand Shuffle, so I'll leave a link for the Overhand Shuffle and the Marlowe Tilt down below as well. I'll keep this face up, so you have it on top, you peel off about half, you put one card on top squared up, you in-jog the next card, then you square up these cards. So now you have your break. So you can do a double undercut, a few table cuts, or you can continue doing the Overhand Shuffle. So you can lift up on the break, push in, you have this break, you can shuffle off these cards for this break, and then once you're done with your break, throw them on top, and it's second. Let's go over the table cut. So, you do... Oh. So, okay. So, we're second right there. And then, okay, we're going to in-jog, line up, and we're going to shuffle. Now, you're going to put this pack in your hand, but you're going to lift up your hand at both hands at the same time, okay? Just like this. Because you don't want them to see this break card. And then you can lift up, push in, and then really cut as much as you want above the break. Keep in mind, though, you're not going to expose the break. So let's say right there, it doesn't matter. And then the card is on top. And finally, the double undercut. I think I lost it that time. Sometimes that might happen if I go too fast. I might lose the break. Okay, perfect. And then the same thing as before. So you're going to lift up both hands. And then you're going to push either up and in. And when you do this, this controls it to the bottom. So you cut about half of these to the top. Then these to the top. So now it'll be, okay, still at the top. So it wasn't at the bottom. Or if you push down and in, and then you cut them, they're going to be at the top still. Okay, so it doesn't matter which way. So if you lift up and in, and you cut these, they're going to be on top. And if you push down and in, you cut, they're going to be at the top. Okay, so it doesn't really matter. Or the easiest way you can do this is start off with the card second from the top. So either way you want to do it, just make sure the card is second from the top. Now I snap my fingers, but before I do that, I say, what if your card could jump to the top? So I snap my fingers and I show it's on the top. I'll leave a link for the double lift I did, which is the strike double, and another double lift. So I put that down. And then what you can do is you can say, okay, let's see what the next card we have is. You can do a false cut or whatever you would like. If I do another double lift, I say Jack of Spades. Okay, let's try something here. I take it off, and now the trick is done. You have the king, and they have the indifferent card. Just like that. So that was today's video and deck review. I hope you guys really enjoyed this. Now, before I go, I'm going to show you the decks one more time. We have the Navigators for the video after the next video. We have the Black Medievals. Or we can do the 2-pack of Bicycle. But these are the rest of the decks. I hope you guys enjoyed today's video. Hope you enjoyed the deck review. Let me know how I did teaching the Bluff Pass. I feel like I stumbled my words a lot today. But that's it. If you're new here, don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. And I will see you next time with a new video. Bye.